Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Catalyst webinar series presented by the Education Committee for the Southern California PGA. The Catalyst webinar series is a bi-weekly educational platform for creating success and change in your club and career. We're very excited to have Joe Assell on the webcast this morning. Joe Joe is the CEO and co-founder of GolfTEC. He was born and raised in the Chicago area. He's a 1994 grad from the PGM program at Mississippi State University. He's a PGA Quarter Century Club member, 5-time Colorado Section Award winner, including Golf Professional of the Year and Teacher of the Year. And he also sits on the PGA of America Employment Committee. Good morning, Joe. Thanks for joining us this morning on the Catalyst webinar series.
John, thanks for having me. Tom, I appreciate the initial call to spark this, and it's my honor to be here with everybody today. I'm really excited to spend some time together. We have a lot of presence in California, and really thrilled to be with everybody this morning. So I've got really 3 things to talk about this morning. I'll talk for a little while, and then would love any questions or just discussion among all of the participants. But the plan today is to give a GolfTEC just overview and a little bit of where we're going in the future, talk about our technology as it's a core of what we do, and then talk about our career opportunities as we are growing like crazy right now, and we need a lot of additional talent on our team, and we'd like to talk about what that looks like. So I'll just jump in, and the first thing I always talk about whenever I speak about GolfTEC is our mission, and our mission is pretty simple: to help people play better golf. We don't have a big elaborate mission statement that you kind of have to think too hard to figure out what it means. We just get straight to it, to help people play better golf. And I tell all of our coaches, 900 coaches that work for us all around the world every day, that if we do this, we will continue to be very successful. And if we don't, if people don't get better, we will fail. We won't even have a company. And the number one initiative every day is to make sure that our students get better and play better, and that drives every single thing that we do every day. And the way we do that is what we consider creating complete golfers. And most people don't know this about GolfTEC, but the way we invented our name 25 years ago, and the reason TEC and GolfTEC are always a different color, if you see our logo or one of our signs on one of our centers, is the T, E, and the C stand for the 3 things that we believe are needed to play your best golf. So the T is your technique, how you hit a ball, how you hit a chip, how you hit a drive, how you basically golf instruction, how you play golf. The E is your equipment. So you have to have properly fitted equipment. All 14 clubs have to work together for the student with their swing and with their game. And it could be any other piece of equipment needed to shoot a lower score, such as a rangefinder or an alignment stick, but making sure our students have what they need to play their best. And then the C is your conditioning, which is your body. So your strength, your flexibility, your mental approach. And we're fortunate to be #1 in the world in the T. We'll give about 1.5 million golf lessons this year. We are growing rapidly in the E. I don't know where we might stand in the marketplace, but we'll give over 40,000 club fittings this year. And then believe it or not, we haven't gotten to the C yet. It's hard to scale the C. We're focusing on being #1 in the world in the E as well right now. And likely in the next year or 2, we will get to the C. We believe in it. We believed in this since the day we invented our name 25 years ago, but it's not yet part of our core product offering. It's still in a little bit of R&D, but this is how we look at our business and achieving our goal of helping people play better golf. And collectively, that has made us the world leader in golf improvement. We have a large scale nationally and somewhat internationally, bricks and mortar, green grass, virtual, everywhere we could touch a golfer to become the leader in helping people play better golf. So just to give a little bit of our history, our story, a lot of people want to know how this started and how this came about. But just over 26 years ago, I had just finished the PGM program at Mississippi State, and we started in April of 1995. It was just an experiment. We were briefly called Driving Obsession. We quickly changed our name to GolfTEC. There was no internet at the time, so our only press was newspaper clippings, as I have dropped in this slide. But it was just an experiment in the beginning. Would anybody come? Could we make them better? Could we make a business out of this? And what would happen? I was the only employee. I was teaching 7 days a week, taking no days off, and I quickly got booked. all day, every day for a couple of weeks in advance with 0 openings. And we hired another coach and he got busy, and we hired another coach and she got busy. And then we said, let's try this in another city. And I was from the Chicago area, so we opened a GolfTEC in Chicago. It quickly became busy, and we started building a business, really brick by brick, day by day along the way. And today, I'm thrilled. We have 220 GolfTECs, mostly in the US, but we're in Canada, Japan, Hong Kong, Singapore, and China. And we're the industry leader in what we do. We've given over 12 million lessons in our history to 650,000 unique students. We believe 25% of all of the private lessons in America happen at a GolfTEC. So not all lessons, so not a Get Golf Ready program or a group lesson or something like that, but one-on-one individual lessons. We believe we're in the mid 20% range and don't have a competitor with a 1%. It's really, all of you at your clubs at golf courses, but not a kind of a consolidated, scaled effort compared to how we are operating. We passed 25 years last year. Unfortunately, it was during COVID. We had a giant party with a band and everything planned. We had to cancel it, so we just celebrated with ourselves. But we crossed 25 years last year, and we're not slowing down. So as you look at some of our growth, I thought this was an interesting chart to share. This is our sales since inception. You can see back in 1995 when we started, it was so small. It didn't even show up on this chart. I think our entire first year ever in business, we did $90,000, and God, today we'll do that by 10 a.m. But initially we were just getting rolling, and then you can see the momentum along the way. We had a few dips along the way. Right in here around 2009 and 2010 was the recession. But then over here around 2017, there's a little dip. That is when GolfSmith went bankrupt. We had 81 GolfTECs co-located inside GolfSmith. And when they went bankrupt, we lost 51 GolfTECs in 1 month. And that was really a crisis, we thought at the time. And it was that we had to navigate through and rebuild. We built 40 new GolfTECs in 9 months to recover from GolfSmith going bankrupt. But then you see, out here on the far right, what we all just lived through. We were closed for about 60 days, sometimes longer, across the country. And it was different closing dates and different reopening dates, really city by city. But unlike some of the golf courses and many golf courses that might have closed very briefly and then got back open as really a haven for Americans to get out. One of the only places you could go was a golf course. It was phenomenal for our industry. We were considered retail and other categories. And we were closed, doors locked, lights out. 0 sales for just over 2 months during COVID. But then you can see once we reopened the unbelievable rebound in our business, and really the momentum has continued. So if you look at this chart overall from beginning to where we are today, you see overall a great trajectory in our business. And I can tell you, we show up every day with the goal to continue that and continually innovate and deliver a better experience for our students relentlessly every day to make sure that chart just continues at an upward pace and we keep growing as a business. So another way, just kind of a pictograph to look at our business, 12 million lessons. This other chart here is on a lessons given basis. This is a little smoother than the other one, but you can again see the momentum and the trajectory that our business is on. Again, doing everything we can to make sure that continues. We're currently in 6 countries, 38 states, 90 different cities, 220 locations. We're opening about 20 locations per year right now. So kind of every other week we open a new location somewhere in the world, but mostly in the US is our primary growth. And then specific to you all, we have 24 GolfTECs in California. We have from San Diego to Sacramento, and we are planning to open 4 new centers in California next year, all underway in some form of lease negotiation right now. We might sneak one open in San Diego here by the end of this year yet. And 90% of our centers in California have an outdoor partner. And that's pretty much true around the country. We're actually higher than 90% around the country, where Every GolfTEC is partnered with a local golf course, and our coaches actually spend 1 day a week outside and 4 days a week in the GolfTEC Center, and they meet their students. They don't go to the golf course to look for new students. They just meet our existing students at the golf course to do playing lessons to help implement the swing and the strategy that we're teaching them indoors. And then we also do most of our short game lessons outside, where on a real green and a real bunker and things like that are better. And our outdoor days are usually some of our coaches' most popular days, but they, we bring pretty good traffic to a golf course near us, all over the country, and bring some additional traffic. If you haven't been to a GolfTEC, they're generally in a retail environment, a strip mall of some kind, or a retail oriented environment, as you see in this example. Then we have a nice, modern, comfortable lobby for people to hang out prior to their lesson. Most of our lobbies and our centers all have a full shaft and head wall, where we'll have tens of thousands of combinations of heads and shafts, much more than what is in this wall in this picture, but full combination to hopefully fit every possible need of our students. And then we get down to in bay, where we have our proprietary technology. It's called Optimotion. I'll talk about it more in a minute. Well, obviously a launch monitor in every bay, our proprietary cameras. And then you see that device on the ground there with the green dots. That's a proprietary button box, where with your golf club, you can drive our entire system. So a coach doesn't always have to be in there with the student. The students can practice in our bays and control the entire system right there with the button box on the ground. And then just distill all the way down to the coach and student. And the coach and the PGA professional is the most important part of our business. I'm going to talk about it more when we get to kind of the career opportunities, but our business is built 100% on PGA professionals and great coaches, and it is the bedrock of our business. We have great technology, we have pretty good marketing, we have some other things that are important, but without our coaches, we do not have a business. We are in the service business. We interact with people one-on-one in half-hour increments, and that coach and student relationship is number one for us. And that this is what it gets down to, and this is what it's all about. As mentioned, I'm a PGA member. My chief operating officer is a PGA member. My head of HR is a PGA member. We've got about 75 people here at GolfTEC headquarters, and about 15 of them are PGA members. So there is strong, influence and really connection to our coaches all the way through, starting at the top. Moving on a little bit here, changing gears just a bit. We really look at our business as 4 different kinds of lessons. So in bay is our primary, on course, as I mentioned, short game, and then putting. Putting can be indoors or outdoors, but we try to cover all spectrum of the game, and we really have a broad offering and give a lot of every variety of lesson. And then if you look deeper into how we do it, all of our instruction is fact-based. So everything is based on measurement. It's not based on anybody's theory or philosophy or idea about the swing. We have tested over 200 PGA Tour players with our motion system, and we have over 5 million amateur swings in our database, and we've used big data analytics to understand the golf swing. And we can tell you purely factually and research based what a 25 handicap does in general, what a 20 handicap does, what a 10 handicap does, what a scratch player does, and what a PGA Tour player does, and how they move. And that really is the guiding light for all of our teaching. Every lesson we give has measurement involved and motion measurement. So it can be based on, factual measurement. As I mentioned, we also then have launch monitor data, so we know exactly why the ball is going where it goes. We have spin and launch and club head speed and ball speed and angle of descent, obviously everything you would want. So we take all factors of guesswork of why the ball went where it went. It's all based on and data. And really what this helps us get to the bottom line a lot faster and shorten the learning curve. And within a couple swings, We know the root cause of your problem, and we're able to map out a game plan for our students. And one of our keys to success is efficiency. It takes the first lesson is an hour as we get to know the student, but then it's a half hour after that, because you step right in. Within 2 swings, we have your data for your ball and your swing, and we get right to work on our path to improvement for our students, and start making immediate progress on advancing towards really a game plan for them to get better. We also do a lot of club fittings. So as I mentioned, we gave 39,000 fittings last year. We're running up like 30% this year. So we may crack 50,000 fittings this year, all the major brands, and really have a tremendous amount of momentum in our club fitting business. We believe that is a key to helping somebody play their best. It's not just their swing. They've got to have the right equipment in their hands, and together, then they can, nothing will hold them back, and they can play their best. So if you work with us, you become a club fitting expert as well. And we spend a lot of time, making sure our students have the right clubs. And then the other thing I want to touch on as I bounce around here a little bit and just give kind of a GolfTEC overview is GolfTEC Cares. So GolfTEC Cares is the umbrella for all of our charitable and community involvement. So it's home to our DE&I initiatives. Our goal is that this year we contribute $3 million to our communities in various ways, nearly all through golf. We ask our coaches to be a local ambassador. So in every market in the country, we have at least one of our coaches who is the official Cares ambassador that on behalf of GolfTEC goes to, community events and different things. We just recently did a Clubs for Cause. It's just a 2-week effort where we asked our students to donate their clubs, and then we turned them into a trade-in company, and generated $50,000 that we then turned around and donated that cash to helping some underprivileged golf community charities. Caddy Academy and Black Girls Golf were our 2 main beneficiaries of this specific Clubs for a Cause initiative. But this is ongoing every day. Our official charity is PGA Hope. We thought, as PGA members and a company run by PGA members, a PGA oriented charity should be number 1. So underneath PGA Reach, PGA Hope is our official charity, where we spend a lot of time. But then, as you see from the pictures, all kinds of initiatives that we work on. And it's really part of the fabric of what we do, is making sure we give back and we're part of our community, and really try to grow golf via those who we'd like to welcome more into our business and our sport. Is really the heart of GolfTEC Cares. So then where are we going? For us, it's all about continuing the momentum. I showed you those charts that are kind of going up at a nice pitch. And, whenever a company turns the other way and say their stock tanks, the first thing they often do is fire the CEO. So I want to make sure we never have that day, and we keep our momentum going. So number 1 initiative is to keep going. The US, we believe, can hold 375 GolfTECs. We're currently at 185, so we're right about halfway there. But that means we can double yet our US center count. So we're rolling, as I mentioned, at about 20 new openings per year. 4 of them next year are earmarked for California, but that's a real comfortable pace for us. I think I mentioned we opened 40 in 9 months when Golfsmith went under. So we have grown faster at different times, but right now this is a real comfortable pace to open one about every other week, not quite every other week, and keep adding more centers. We think the world can hold 750 GolfTECs. We currently have 35 outside the US, so really unlimited international growth right now. And if you add it all together, we're at about 220 out of 750. So we can open another GolfTEC every other week for about 25 years before we hit capacity. So we really just see this endless roadmap in front of us just on the bricks and mortar side. But the other side is just as exciting, which is this kind of relentless innovation and improvement. And really, that's more important. I challenge the team every day. We have to get better. How many centers we count isn't as important to me as making sure we get better. So number 1 in getting better is our student experience. If a student comes to GolfTEC, we want when they walk through our door, that experience to always be improving. I say walk through our door, it could mean their online experience with us or their mobile app experience with us, but their experience with us to be better every day. So that leads to continuous technology innovation, which I'll talk about in a minute, and then new offerings. So golf fitness, I mentioned the C in our name, remote teaching. We're going to launch a curated e-commerce offering. So our students get special things that we think are just for them, and kind of a behind the login special shopping experience for our students. So continue to make the experience better and continue to innovate kind of outside the four walls of the centers, and keep adding more centers as well. So that's how we look at things, just really making sure hopefully we can maintain our momentum. So changing gears a little again to our technology. We are very fortunate. We have a 25-person software development team that only works for GolfTEC, and they're spread around the world so they can kind of pass the baton to each other in the different time zones. And our software is really in constant development 24 hours a day and constantly improving. And we have many versions. So we have Tech Swing, which is what is used in bay. So this has our motion technology, video, launch monitor. Tech Swing Go is run on an iPad. It's what we use when we're outside at the golf course. Tech Putt is our putting technology that has a sensor on the putter. It can be used indoors or outdoors. It also runs on an iPad. Tech Fit is our data-driven club fitting. So all based on data, we prescribe the right head and shaft and measure it and hone in on the exact perfect club and set makeup for our students, all based on data. The Clubhouse is our student experience, how they interact with us. So it's our mobile app. It's their web lesson. Every lesson we give, they can review online. If they did a club fitting, they can log on and see their stats and their club specifications, and then online access to their account with us. So they can book lessons, cancel lessons, buy more lessons, interact with their coach in messaging in different ways, all via the Clubhouse. And then Caddy Master is our back office. So these are all of our business tools, our CRM, our scheduling, our customer management, our coach performance management, and a very robust behind the scenes. It's really one of the things that's enabled us to scale. I really think we've scaled because we use data and facts and research and not any one instructor's opinion. And we've scaled because we have great technology empowering our coaches to do a great job. But then behind the scenes, we've been able to make really smart business decisions and run our business intelligently as we've scaled at a rapid pace and try to avoid any missteps along the way. And that's really been driven by Caddy Master. So I want to talk about Optimotion for a minute because we just released it. So this is groundbreaking motion tracking. We used to use sensors with cords and straps. We used that for 20 some years, but now we have a proprietary camera that we invented that is only available at GolfTEC. And then that camera and that video now, we can measure body movement just via video, and it leverages an artificial intelligence database. We've imported millions of swings from lessons we've given with the wired sensors into this to teach the computer when they see it now via video only, what that movement equates to and what the measurements would be. So really kind of this graphic explains it. It takes two cameras, but we're videoing everything, and then via the video we can measure and interpolate all the movement of the body, which would then translate into something like this, where we actually have data on how you're moving. We compare this data generally to our database of tour players. It's generally color coded. Green would be within an acceptable deviation of the model swing based on all of the tour data. Yellow would mean you're maybe off a little bit too much, and if it happens to be red, you would be significantly off from the kind of the model swing. So it really makes it a lot easier to teach. Red, green, yellow dials the coach into the places to immediately start working on. Through our training, we help you understand the path to help somebody get better. And then with our optical motion, we're now able to measure many more body points. So before it was really shoulders and hips, which is really the core and the most important part. But now we can measure a lot of other points. And this just was released here in July. We've been working on this for about 2.5 years in development. And when COVID hit, we had to stop using the sensors because we tried to keep social distancing. So we didn't want our coach to get near the student. Our students also didn't want to wear straps that somebody had just worn, 5 minutes before them in the previous lesson. So we dropped those, and now thrilled to have this out, and really our next groundbreaking technology release here with Optimotion. We're going to continue to add to this. We're going to start tracking the club, hopefully the ball some, and more body points, but and hopefully get it onto just a single camera so we can do it via the phone as well. So when our coaches are out with an iPad outside, they'll have motion data as well. But continued innovation, but this was a big one for us here just a few months ago. Last thing before I get into some employment side of things, I just want to cover what we've heard are misconceptions about us out there. So one is that we only teach one method. That's completely false. We use the best players in the world as our model. But then we just guide each student based on their body type and their ability. So great example is the average shoulder turn of 200 tour players with a 5-iron is 89 degrees. So 0 would be, at address. 90 degrees obviously would be a right angle square shoulder turn. The tour players average 89 degrees. If somebody comes in and they're turning their shoulders 70 degrees, they should turn more. Can they turn 89? Maybe not. But if they turn 77 or 81, that's a better golf swing. And that's how we approach things. So we use the data of the best players in the world as our guide, and then work with the students and their body types and their ability from there. Another myth, we only teach out indoors. As I mentioned, all of our coaches teach at least one day outside, some more than that. Too technical, I would tell you, I think our motion system makes it less technical because we immediately get to what's the one red number or the one yellow number. That's the one thing someone needs to focus on to get better. And it allows us to keep it more simple and explain clearly to our students the path for them to get better and the steps we're going to take in the journey of improving their swing and their game to get better. And then, at times people have said we're sales oriented. I'll tell you that you're going to see our core values in a minute. That's not the case. We often do a club fitting and tell people their current driver is just fine, or they don't need 25 lessons, they only need 5 or whatever it may be. We really focus on integrity in our sales process and meeting people where they are and whether it be their budget or their desires to improve. As I mentioned, the first lesson is an hour because a lot of it is just a get to know you session. And from there, we then jointly devise the right plan with our students moving forward. So I'll transition here to some employment slides. I see a few Q&As coming in. We'll have a nice discussion here in a minute after I talk about what it works to be on our team. So I'll start with our company values. These have been in place for a while, and they're really what we're all about. So number one is fun. We do a lot of fun things. We have a lot of competition, a lot of team events, and a lot of awesome parties and events. And it's just we make sure fun is part of it. We close our centers a couple days a year and tell our coaches to take the entire afternoon off all together with the doors locked to go out and do something fun together. And it's woven into everything we do. We make some goofy videos and some internal content production. Fun is a big part of what we do. Next is integrity. I mentioned this in our, our sales process and our recommendations and making sure we take care of people. We are in this for the long run. As I mentioned, this momentum and the chart that we have and the momentum we're on, we know if we're misleading people in any way, that chart doesn't maintain itself. 40% of our new customers are referrals from our existing customers. And the only way that happens is to take great care of people. And then there's integrity on the employment side as well. So very transparent about our compensation, our benefits, our employment terms, how everything works, and making sure we maintain integrity between GolfTEC and our employees and our coaches. Improvement is the next one that goes both ways as well. Obviously, our students need to improve or we don't have a company. It's number one. But then we try to improve as a company every single day, as I mentioned, whether it be new technology, better marketing, better training of our coaches, but relentless improvement every day as a company. And then the last is team. We have almost 1,000 employees, about 900 golf pros who work for us around the world. And there is no one person of those 1,000 that is more important than the other. We've done everything we've done as a company and the success we've had because we operate as a team. That picture there under team is one of my favorites. That is every GolfTEC employee who has been an employee for 20 years or more. We have a get together every year. It's a 2-day boondoggle of golf and fire pit and steaks and hanging out. And once you hit 20 years as an employee, you get invited to this. And we do it every year, and it's a blast. So the team is important. We shower our team members with gifts on their anniversary of their employment, and we make sure everybody is important and included, and knows that they're valuable. Together, this spells fit. So we want everybody to know that you're the right fit for us, or we make sure you're the right fit for us, and we're the right fit for you as part of joining our team. So moving to our brand promise, this is a great little chart that really explains how we're successful. So at the bottom is the foundation, which is fact-based methodology that I've talked about, measurement-based, research-based, factual golf lessons, leveraging technology. So to have a fact-based lesson, you need technology, you need body measurement, and you need ball measurement. That's the foundation that we're built on. The key, the core to the whole thing is emotionally engaged coaches. As I mentioned earlier, the coach is the number one thing in our business, the most important component of our business. We value our coaches so much, and they use the technology, but they are the glue to the customer. They're the reason we succeed. And then at the top of the pyramid is our mission statement: to help people play better golf. So we do that with emotionally engaged coaches using great technology. I can't say it any more simple or any better than this, but this is what we do every day, and what we'll continue to do. On our employee brand, as I've mentioned, hopefully you're getting the point. Great people fuel our business. It's the most important thing. And so our value proposition as an employer is work-life balance. So you have a set schedule, 90 days out, your schedule is, and every coach gets 2 days off every single week. One of them is always a weekend day. So you get a weekend day off, you get a weekday day off, you get paid holidays, you get paid time off. We're closed 7 days a year. So Labor Day, 4th of July, Memorial Day, where if you're at a golf course, it might be a long day. The golf techs are closed, lights off, doors locked, and you get an extra day off. So work-life balance is really important to us. As I mentioned, company founded by PGA members who have put in the 80-hour weeks and been there at 5 a.m. and know that that can be a drawback to being a PGA pro. And we wanted to fix that when we built this company. So that's a big part of what we do. Our community, I mentioned GolftEC Cares. We also, GBOSH stands for Go Big or Stay Home. That's our annual conference where we bring everybody together for a couple of days of fun and learning and motivation. And then we have a private Facebook page that's only for our coaches, where you can go on with your fellow coaches all over the world, talk about ideas, talk about challenges, bounce things off each other. Our coaches love it. It's their own community of themselves, of like-minded coaches talking about their business. Our career path, we have an incredible internal education department. We run GolftEC University, which I'll talk about in a minute. We help you get great experience. We have a manager and training program. Our goal is from the day you join us, we begin advancing your career. If you're not a PGA member, we cover virtually all of the costs for you to become one. And from there, continue with education and training. And, we're building a company that's growing, and we need well-trained, great people to advance in their career to support us. We almost always promote from within. It's very rare that we name a manager who isn't a coach. And our goal is to keep really breeding the next level of leaders in our business every day. Outside education as well. So the PGA education, we reimburse for PGA education costs and continuing education, and then we continue with continuing education internally at GolfTEC as well. And then our compensation grows substantially as you grow with us, as I'll show you here in a couple slides. On the development slide, we have, I would say, kind of different career positions with us. So we are starting to hire interns from the PGM programs. Our centers are so busy right now. We need PGM interns to come and help, manage the traffic flow. So our goal is to add 20 interns in 2022. Then as you join us, we have GolftEC University. It's 6 weeks long. It covers all aspects of instruction, club fitting, and customer service. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. And then once you're with us, we have a manager and training program. So it launched last year. It's a 6-month program. Last year alone, we had 66 coaches apply. We selected 16 and 11 of them are now center managers, and the second wave is now launched. And so we continue to not just give promotions, but make sure you're ready for that promotion and train internally in our manager in training program. So I mentioned GolfTEC University. GolfTEC University is where everybody starts. It doesn't matter if you're Butch Harmon or David Ledbetter or anyone else. If you want to work at GolfTEC, we put everyone through GolfTEC University. It's an intense program, non-COVID. 2 of the 6 weeks are in Denver. We have a classroom, as you see in this picture, built with inside of a bay. We have a couple of these where you really learn hands-on and talk about the data and the swing measurement. There's a lot of club fitting training. There's customer service training, and there's culture training. And we make sure people finish the 6 weeks ready to go and do a great job. And probably all know a GolfTEC coach or a former GolfTEC coach. And, we hear all the time that the training they received, and we call it GTU for short, GolfTEC University, was the best they've ever received in their life. And a lot of coaches have left GolfTEC and gone on to great success because of the training we've given them. I got an email from a guy yesterday. He now sells workout equipment to NFL teams, but he told me his GolfTEC University time was the best training he's ever received in his life. So really try to position people to be successful, hopefully with us forever, but in whatever they do beyond GolfTEC as well. Touch on our employee benefits. We pay half of the health insurance for your entire family. We pay half of your insurance for your vision and dental. And then if you have a family, we pay half of all insurance. We have a 401k program with a match. As I mentioned, the work-life balance, 5 days a week, 40 to 45 hours, paid holidays. And then high level of PGA support. So if you are not in the associate program yet, we actually pay you to take your PAT. So not only do we pay your entry fee, we let you punch in on the clock while you take your PAT. The online courses for the associate program, we pay that. We give you $1,000 every time you go to a checkpoint. We pay your PGA dues. And then anytime you're studying, traveling, going to PGA education, you're allowed to punch in while you do that. So we are, in addition to our own internal training, GolfTEC University, we are heavy supporters of your various PGA requirements. And as I mentioned, we pay 100% PGA dues as well. And then the last is apparel and clubs. So all of our coaches, we are arranged with OEMs that all of our coaches get staff deals. That's a lot when we have to do 500 or 600 staff deals just in the US. But we do enough volume with Callaway and TaylorMade and Ping and Titleist and Mizuno that they return the favor and take good care of our coaches. And then we refresh our coaches. You'll get about 15 or so to 20 pieces of apparel every year, from quarter zips and sweaters and vests to shirts and, sometimes pants and belts and hats and everything else. So we make sure we keep you looking good as well as part of our benefits package. As I mentioned, our coaches are number one. I can't say that enough. So we make sure we put our money where our mouth is and take great care of you once you're on our team. And then the last is the career path. So, it starts with passionate people who are passionate about golf and go through our interview process and hopefully get hired and then attend GolfTEC University. And then everyone starts as a coach, certified personal coach. Our range there, kind of high to low last year, was 50 to 90,000 as a coach. This is year one with us. Even somebody straight out of a PGM university will make 50,000 or should make 50,000 with us. Our average of all of them was 60,000 in kind of entry level positions last year. And this skews around the country. So I know you are all in a very expensive place and we skew higher in California. We also have coaches in Birmingham and New Orleans and, Memphis that don't make as much. So everybody is in these numbers, but the West Coast guys and gals are on the higher end. And then our next level up is the center manager and director of instruction. So this is kind of the head pro of the GolfTEC, the one person who's in charge. 75 to 120. The average across all of America last year was 85,000. And then our regional managers are still the manager of their center. And still teach golf, but the other 6, 5, 6, 7 GolfTECs in their area report under them. excuse me, before they report into headquarters. And that group ranged from 90 to 150,000 last year in compensation. Last couple of things, outside the X's and O's and numbers, other great benefits of being on our team, learning how to teach with technology. You're going to give thousands of lessons, so really practicing your skills. You're in with a group of people who think just like you. And then I didn't really touch on this, but incredible support from headquarters. So we pay the bills, we do the marketing, we do the tech support, we handle the training. Your job is to help people play better golf and make sure they've got the right clubs in their hands. Your job is to take care of your students and all the other headaches. We've got your back. We've got 75 people here that have you covered on all the other things that are a headache of being in business. It's all covered from here. So you've got this incredible support behind you. Of the top 6 executives at GolfTEC, the shortest tenure is 10 years. The rookie has been here 10 years. So you got people who know this business, know what they're doing, and show up every day supporting our coaches in every way possible. So last piece is really anyone who's interested in joining us. This is your first point of contact. John Williams is a PGA member. He's our head of HR. He actually is from the Southern California PGA. He was a director of instruction for us in California. He's a PGA member, came to headquarters as a next level up on our operations team. He had 40 golf techs around the country under him, and he was just such a phenomenal person in terms of dealing with our people and our coaches that we moved him out of running 40 golf techs and moved him into head of all of HR, and he's doing a great job. He might have done this today, but he's on an airplane right now. So I get the honor to pitch in and talk to all of you this morning, but John is the man. So jwilliams at golftec.com. 303-223-2357 is his office line. You can also go to our website, golftec.com, and we have a careers section there where you can not only learn more, but you can apply right there. And it's great. You get the choices of where in America you'd like to work for us or where in California, and we feed you to the right people regionally on where our openings are, and it really starts there. But John's happy to hear from you directly immediately as well. He has a recruiting team underneath him that helps us onboard people. We need to hire 220 golf pros this year. We've already hired about 160, so we're rolling along, but we have quite the operation of onboarding people as we just keep fueling our growth. So, John, I am done, but I think we've got some time, and I'd love to have any discussion or answer questions here that people may have. I appreciate you all having me today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Joe, for taking the time to present to the section. We know how busy you are, and we're grateful for you putting together this presentation. I mean, we're all feeling the labor crunch, right?
Absolutely.
We're having a hard time filling roles. I mean, even prior to the pandemic, the associateship employment was a challenge, finding good assistants and good instructors. And we're really feeling it post-pandemic on the front lines of golf course maintenance, facilities maintenance, food and beverage. I'm sure you're feeling it too, especially with all this growth and the shortage of instructors. How do you keep up with the workload being understaffed?
Well, I think, as I mentioned, we've already hired 160 coaches this year, and a lot of that is adding to our team. And, so where our center had 4 coaches, now they have 5, now they have 6. So our hiring is not just to fuel the new openings. They all need 3 or 4 coaches each every time we open a new one, but it's to fuel the growth within our centers. And one of the things we've done is tried to build a very compelling reason to join our team, not just the compensation and benefits, but the work-life balance and the training and the great culture. And we want to be the place that people want to spend their careers in. And it's somewhat working. We have a lot of people joining our team, but we continue to need more, every day.
Because having the guaranteed 1 day off during the week, 1 day off on the weekend, I mean, if there's all this demand, there must be some sort of compromise there where I'm sure there's instructors working through those days off, or is it that part of the employment structure where no matter how much demand there is for instruction, it's just timed out because the instructors do have those days.
Yeah,
off.
pretty much. We rarely let our coaches work that sixth day. Occasionally, it's more in crisis when actually we've lost somebody and we're trying to just take care of their students. But we more try to ramp up our team to keep accommodating the demand. We really value those days off. It's not just talking. Coaches who have a spouse or a partner who have a normal Monday to Friday job, if they work Saturday and Sunday, you never have a day off with your partner. And we don't think that's right. So we hold tight. The other thing I would say is our students mainly take their lessons during the week because on the weekend they play golf. Our lessons are only a half an hour. Our locations are convenient. They're air conditioned. You zip in, you zip out. It's 30 minutes. You don't get all sweaty. You can kind of weave it into the middle of your day or on the way home from work. And so it's not this big 2 hours out of your day. And so our students then go play golf on the weekends. And so our two slowest days by far are Saturday and Sunday. So it enables us to really protect those weekend days off for everybody.
That's fantastic. Now, in this big push to bring on new teammates and new staff members, new coaches, what is the percentage breakdown roughly between PGA professional coaches, PGA associate coaches, and non-PGA instructors in your centers?
That's a great question. HR would know it better than me. I'll give you the rough and tough. About 73 or 4% of all coaches are a PGA member or associate.
That's fantastic.
Well, it used to be higher, but unfortunately right now, just new applications that hit our website, we can't control it. Anybody who logs on and applies to our website, it's barely 50% of new applicants are PGA members or associates. So they all get priority and we try to hire them first, but unfortunately we've had, some more non-PGA members or associates join our team here recently. But as you saw, our number one goal is to move them into the associate program as fast as possible. So we pay for their PAT, we pay for all their education in the associate program and try to get them moving into it. But we've seen a shift in applicants here recently that a lot of more non-PGA professionals are at least applying with us.
Sure. Well, I'm sure those numbers, I might be speaking out of turn, but I'm sure those numbers are more in favor of PGA professional instructors than the average green grass makeup of instructors that teach at green grass properties across country, public.
Yeah, potentially. And we believe we're the second largest employer overall of PGA professionals in America. Troon has more than us. We used to be neck and neck, but then when they acquired or merged with Billy Casper or Indigo together, they now have a lead on us. So we think we're the second largest overall employer still of PGA pros.
So kind of shifting gears here, when you talk about the process of selling, obviously there's a huge process in selling the long-term student improvement program. You guys don't do the quick 30-minute lesson. I just need to fix this. I'm hitting a slice. I just need to get this. And it's really a long-term sell. And that's where the most long-term improvement is. How do you go about instilling that in the training and in the selling process of your new employees that you onboard?
It's a big part of our training, and we firmly believe you cannot get permanently better in just a lesson or two. It just doesn't stick, and it doesn't become habit. And you might hit it better that afternoon, but it just doesn't stick. And to do our job with integrity and to truly make people better golfers, which is our mission statement, it takes a while. It's just like learning a musical instrument, and there are plenty of other examples. And so we explain that to our students, and we ask them, okay, what is your goal? You're shooting 95. Do you want to shoot 92, or do you want to shoot 82, or do you want to shoot 75? Or do you just want to not slice it and score isn't the goal? And once we truly understand our students' goals, we show them their golf swing and take them through what it's going to take to achieve their goal. And we're just very honest with people. We think it's a complete disservice to only sell them a few lessons. We think it hurts our reputation if somebody says, hey, I went to GolfTEC and I got better, but now I'm worse again. It doesn't do us any good. We have just such a long-term vision that we need to truly make people better. And that takes some time. And it takes commitment from our students to practice in between as well. We make sure that they're coming in to GolfTEC for practice time on our system. And that's discussed with our coaches, from day one. And I actually feel like we've kind of changed all of golf instruction in America with that. You know, when we first started, we sold 5 and 10 lessons, and we had this, this is 25 years ago, it's 27 years almost. We had a 15 lesson plan that was only for beginners. I don't know why we did that. But one day we decided we could sell anybody 15 lessons. And so we invented a 25 lesson plan just to make the 15 lesson plan look smaller. And all of a sudden people started buying 25 lessons, and it gave us confidence that actually the golfer could understand what was really needed. And we restructured all of our plans to be, you know, once a week, if possible, with practice time in between, and put you on a mission to make you better. And it's just the way we do things. We don't sell one lesson. We rarely sell 5 lessons. It's very rare. I mean, pretty much 10 lessons is the minimum commitment. And if somebody doesn't want to make that, they're probably not a fit for us as a student. But the one thing we tell our students is you're going to get better, because we're going to hold your hand through this whole thing, and it takes some time, but you're going to come out better. And we culture that on day one at GolfTEC University, and it's just how we see things, and it, you know, it's working obviously with the success we've had.
Fantastic. You'd mentioned that 1 day a week each instructor is teaching outside. With the, you know, the vagary of finding a facility, how do you go about finding green grass facilities for all of these stores that you're opening up across the country?
Well, pre-COVID is a little easier. They were thrilled to have the traffic. So we'll tell a golf course, look, we're going to bring 800 visits to your course this year that while they're there, they'll probably stay for 9 holes or buy a hot dog or hit a bucket of balls or get to know your course. So we had a lot of private clubs that were looking to fill out their membership that welcomed us, or semi-private clubs, or public courses that were welcoming more traffic. It was really not a problem at all. It was great. We were not there at all to compete with the pros there. We never once would solicit a customer there. It was only people who originated at our centers that want to go put it in action. And we bring them a lot of green speed. So most of our outdoor lessons are playing lessons. So we bring them hundreds of rounds of golf a year as well. With everybody being so much busier here, thanks to COVID, it's a little bit more challenging, but we've just have good relationships, and it really, you asked me my 10 problems I wake up with worrying about every morning. Finding the local golf courses isn't one of them. We've had just good relationships, and it's worked really well.
Fantastic. Got a couple questions here from Brett Wyckoff. What makes GolfTEC better than your typical video lesson? You talked a lot about the.
Well, I think I covered that. I don't know when that question came in, but really the data, the motion data, you just don't know it all in video. You're guessing a little bit at what's going on, and we measure exactly what is happening. We compare it to a model swing, either based on amateurs at different levels or based on tour players, and it's all factual. And then we have the ball data as well. So the launch monitor telling us exactly why the ball sliced. And there could be a few reasons, but we know exactly why and where it went. And then we roll all that together into these web lessons. So you take a lesson often without technology, and a week later, the students trying to remember, what did he say? How am I supposed to do this? But ours is right there on your phone in our mobile app. You can stand on the driving range and watch your lesson from 2 days ago and watch the highlights of it. We've got 500 or 600 video drills we've created. So we'll attach the 2 or 3 that are applicable to your lesson, and we roll it all together. And it's just a lot more technology, but at the heart of it, and the reason we've scaled from day one is measurement. If it was just based on a person's theory or philosophy, this might be called the Joe Assell school, not GolfTEC. But I can't be everywhere, and it's not based on my theories. It's based on measurement and research, and it's really been our guiding light from lesson number 1.
And final question, in this crunch to bring on new coaches and new instructors, is GolfTEC open-minded to part-time golf coaches?
Unfortunately, at the moment, we're not doing much of that. The only part-timers are those who actually worked for us for years and kind of want to transition into semi-retirement or something like that, which has actually been great for some people. But our training is so extensive, 6 weeks of training, to then only work a couple days a week. It's hard to justify that. And as you kind of mentioned, our students love our coaches. We have a lot of demand, and to sell somebody a big package of lessons, but then to tell them, well, if you like me, you can only come 2 days a week, and restrict our students after they made this big purchase with us is tough as well. So we have not yet created a part-time program. It's only for those that have been with us for a nice career, and now we're kind of phasing out into retirement, and that works pretty well.
Fantastic. Well, Joe, thank you so much for your time and sharing your expertise. Your passion for what you do is it's infectious. So thank you very
Thanks.
much for coming on the webcast this morning. And everybody that's on this morning's webcast, thank you very much for supporting the Catalyst webinar series. We will be uploading Joe's presentation to the Catalyst landing page on the SCPGA website this afternoon, and sending out a little thank you to Joe for being with us this morning.
I
Thank
appreciate
you,
that.
everybody. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks for having me.
thank-
Great
Joe,
time this
thanks.
morning. Thanks, TA. Have a good
Yeah.
day.
Talk to you
Thank you,
soon.
Jay. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe, stay sane.